Scorpio, out of all the readings that I've done so far, connecting with your energy has felt the most playful and kind of energetic right now. Uh, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Scorpio's having fun, but it's like twisted fun. Like you shouldn't be having fun. Shouldn't. But you are anyway, like in spite of it, in spite of the fact that it's maybe not socially acceptable. Yeah, you're just feeling feisty. I mean, there's a lot of energy in your 8th house right now with Jupiter and Mars really activating Gemini. But I feel like Scorpio's comfortable with that house being activated, You're a big fan of all those things that are macabre and mysterious, dangerous. It makes sense to you intuitively. And so maybe you're in a situation where those elements are really kind of exaggerated in your life right now, and it's really making you feel in touch with yourself. Like you're feeling good, but it's bad. I don't know how else to put it. It's wow, yeah, it's almost like the come up of like a mushroom trip where you're just like giddy and like full of like this kind of sparkly, bubbly energy, and you kind of want to giggle, and everything is almost orgasmic. I feel like that's where Scorpio's at right now. But let's see what else the cards have to reveal for us, huh? Yeah, so for a significator, we have the Princess of Wands. Absolutely the energy that I'm talking about here. Like playful, creative, fiery, like I got the reserves to draw from. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna play, or I'm gonna face this obstacle and I'm gonna have a great time doing it, because why the hell not? Like, why the hell not? I yeah. Covering you, let's see, we've got the 11th trump, which in this deck, I did not specify. This is the Thoth deck, Aleister Crowley's deck, Crowley. Lust. I believe this is Justice in the traditional deck, but I do like this card for this particular reading because I feel like it has an element of the energy that I'm feeling. When I was shuffling your cards, I was seeing like almost like little snippets from Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know if that's relevant to any of you guys, but like this sense of like bloodlust. Not that you literally have bloodlust, but like you're getting enjoyment out of a twisted situation. Twisted, whatever that means, you're embracing the darkness of some situation and you're playing with it. You're letting the venomous snake coil around you because you're in control. You are this venomous snake. It's like you are all bite and all bark. But you're I don't want to say you're containing it. You're controlling it. You're manipulating these undulations of pain and pleasure, and finding pleasure in the pain. Maybe maybe for some of you, you are connecting with somebody else, and there is this kind of element of mystery and macabre, and you're just like, it's like you're dancing with death a little bit. Like you see the red flags, this isn't going to work out, or maybe they're playing with your feelings somehow. It doesn't have to be this sort of situation, but this kind of energy I'm trying to get across archetypally. Take it as you will. It's being crossed by the 3 of discs, 3 of pentacles. Works in this deck. This to me is like kind of what I'm saying, where it's controlling and manipulating this dark, sinister, twisted energy into something that you can work with. You're shaping it into a tool that you can harness, into a power that you can play with. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just like getting this like vision of like somebody throwing a ninja star into somebody's eye and like recalling it and having that person's eye, like that person's vision. Like you're being a little bit harsh about how you might be approaching a situation or a person, but it's like it's a means to an end. Like you're taking this important experience or information or resource that this person or situation has for you, and you're taking it because it's yours. God damn it! Like, I'm tired of playing around. I'm gonna take what's mine. Sort of energy. At the root, we've got the 8th trump, which in this deck is adjustment. Now, upright, it scales, but those chains, man, like naughty. Like, this is playing with fire, chaining someone up, and like, I don't know why this is coming up, but like milking the information out of them. Like, you're gonna have fun with this. You're gonna enjoy this process. And maybe it's harsh, maybe it's overwhelming, maybe it's dark, but it's happening because you need it to. Like, you're using it to your advantage somehow. Yeah, I'm just like, it just really feels like you're really feeling your body. Like, you're really physical right now. You feel capable and you feel strong on some level. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be body. I mean, some of our bodies are more limited with how they can interact with the world than others. You know, it's all relative to your specific situation. But I feel like, Scorpio, you have a force in you right now that's compelling you to act. Like, I don't feel like Scorpio is taking a seat right now. You're not in a space where you're sitting around thinking about things or reflecting on how you feel or reading books on philosophy. I feel like you're in a space right now where you're doing things. You want to be doing things. Like, you're making stuff happen. There's a fire at the base of your spine, and it's just compelling you to burst forward and do something. And it's venomous, and it's sharp, and it's angry, but it's also delicious. Like, if anybody's having a Kundalini awakening right now, out of all the readings that I've done so far, it's you, Scorpio. Like, I feel like it's just blossoming in you right now. You have the 10 of discs behind you. It's like you have the resources, you have the means backing you up, supporting you. Like, it could be literal, like you could have the money you need to be making moves in whatever circumstance that you're exploring. Like, you could have the money to buy the whips and the chains that you need. It doesn't have to be literal, but on another level, it's feeling like you have the inner resources. You feel supported inwardly. And up to the extent where you trust that you can do what you're doing or what you need to be doing. Like, I don't feel like you're insecure right now. Like, you feel very secure and assured and like like, you know, when you have those friend groups where one of them, maybe your sense of humor is a little bit too dark and twisted, and so you kind of tone it down and filter it a little bit with them. Maybe that's not you. Maybe you don't have a filter at all. But being around people that you feel wholly comfortable to do that with, to be sarcastic and twisted and maybe a little demented with, and know that they're not going to judge you for it. Like, they'll actually kind of riff around with you. Like, it's that sort of feeling where you feel safe and comfortable to be able to be doing what you're doing. You know, you're letting that freak flag fly. Wow. Freak flag fly. Fry. I don't know. Maybe that's something relevant. Like, it definitely feels like the temperature's hot. Like, something's cooking right now. Like that sizzling, bubbling energy. Something is boiling and just, it smells good and you just want to take a bite. Like, that's you right now. Crowning your reading, we have the Prince of Discs in reverse. Yeah, you're not taking the safe road. You're not taking the gentle, slow, steady, practical approach to this situation. You're grabbing it by the horns and you're riding it. You're making this happen. You're not dancing around being politically correct or gentle about anything. Like, you see the path before you and you're gonna walk it. And if there's something in your way, you're gonna either go through it or, you know, shove it out of the way. Like, you're not messing around right now. You are, like, on it. You don't care if it's not normal or it doesn't make sense. Like, that approach, it's not the season for it for you right now. Like, you're gonna ride this wave. You're gonna ride it. You're gonna make this wave happen. Like, I just feel like you have that power right now where you're just like, you're pulling. Oh, like, I don't even know how to describe it. I guess it's like, the image I'm getting in my head is like Scorpio is like angry face, like RBF, not even angry, just like focused and driven with like some sort of magical ropes in either hand, and you're pulling the ocean behind you. Like, you have that power. You are moving things and you are bringing that power onto land, and you're changing your environment. You're introducing this new element into the earth. Like, you're gonna crash ashore and cause a ruckus. Hear that thunder? Like, yeah, that's it right there. Before you, we have the Chariot. Come on, like, you're in the driving seat right now. Like, you're holding on and you're making this happen. You're pulling that ocean behind you. You're focused. There's a sense of mastery, a sense of trust in yourself, confidence, assuredness. There's no room for insecurity or anxiety. Like, that stuff is trivial. Like, you're just like so focused and driven that stuff doesn't even have any room to get into your attention, because it's unimportant. It doesn't serve any purpose for what you're doing. Like, it's just, you know, salt over the shoulder. I don't know. Energy around you, we have the Aeon. It's interesting. You have the Egyptian goddess of the sky kind of laying out over top. But because she's reversed, yeah, it's like the world is your oyster. Like the world is a receptacle for the energy that you're bringing forth. I wanted to say bursting forth with. You know, you have a very explosive, volatile, almost like magma sort of energy that you're writing and you're bringing into the world. And the world is just a receptacle for that. The world is accepting. The world is receptive. Going back to this, the whips and chains, I'm almost like the world is submissive to your needs. You know, your authority has been accepted on some level in this situation because you're shaping the world around you. And you're not playing games. Or maybe you are. I don't know. Like I said, you're having fun with this. The people around you, we have the Four of Swords. In this deck, it's called Truce. Yeah, I feel like maybe they know what you're made of now. They see your volcanic energy and how powerful you can be. And they're kind of taking a step back and saying, okay, you are powerful. I accept this. I accept you. Just please don't hurt me, sort of energy. Or maybe it's please hurt me. It's just an acquiescence to your drive. Just like the world and the people around you are just like feeling very submissive to you right now. They're submitting to what you're creating. It's like the antithesis to your energy. Like you're feeling so powerful and dominating and driven and focused, and it's like the world outside of you is reflecting the opposite back to you. Like it's just a soft, secure, everything's okay, sort of compliant type of energy. It's really interesting to see that dichotomy. I feel like that's very much like the Scorpio-Taurus axis, that sort of energy. And it's just very interesting to me that it's really pronounced in your reading today. Scorpio is feeling Scorpio. For your hopes and fears, we have the Hermit card in reverse. For me, this is like you're almost afraid to slow down for a second and think about what you're doing, because I think on some level or you expect that if you do this, you're going to feel really shitty about what you're doing, or you're going to doubt yourself. That's when all those thoughts that you otherwise you don't really have time or space for, would start creeping in, and that's just going to slow down your momentum. And I feel like you're so worried that that's going to ruin your streak, so to speak. Like at any moment that this is just gonna stop, and you're gonna kind of retreat back into yourself again. And I mean, I feel like that's a guarantee. I don't want to make you feel scared or worried about this, but life is about flux and flow. There's cycles and seasons for everything. You're not always going to have this molten energy and power and passion, and that's okay. But while you have it, use it. I feel like for you, Scorpio, it's pretty enduring, but also know that it's not always going to feel like this, and be okay with that being part of the process. You know, there's a time for being outward and expansive and active and moving mountains in your life, and there's also a time for sitting back and resting, breathing, dreaming. And then when that's over, you go right back. You know, it's like night and day, just these cycles, these undulations. Kind of a sexy word, isn't that? There's a time for flipping. I'm hearing that. Final outcome, we have the Magus in reverse. That to me is kind of representing like being drained. Like it's the aftermath of a volcanic explosion. Sometimes, you know, the magma that's left over just kind of sinks back down. Sometimes the caldera even collapses. You know, it's just this sense of emptiness and exhaustion. The energy has been dissipated and used, and now it has to sink back and recharge. So I think it's really interesting, like at the start of this reading, the energy was like really kind of frantic and explosive and powerful and delicious. And now as we've kind of come to the end of the reading, it's very much like, settling down, slowing down, like, and that's okay. Because I feel like being in this space, withdrawing and relaxing and maybe being more submissive, you know, the opposite end of this other energy, like being receptive and allowing things to happen rather than making things happen. Like it's okay if you need to sink back into that, like flux and flow. The waves come in, the waves go out. It's all part of the process. It's gonna be okay. You're not gonna die. Well, we're all gonna die, but you know, it's not the end of the world that you have to breathe and relax a little bit and stretch and recover. You can't always be operating at 10,000%, like. So I think maybe that's the crux of this reading, because I'm not getting any new insights. It's mostly just kind of rehashing that whole thing. Like, take advantage of the energy while you have it, and then rest when you need to. Oh, okay. So there's like something new that's kind of coming in. I don't know if one of you may be getting pregnant, like unexpectedly, and that really put a damper on your plans. Like obviously, having a baby like completely changes your life trajectory, even when it's just even after it's just barely being conceived and you're pregnant. Like, that alone has enough power behind it to completely shift how you approach things. And you have so many new things that you're being forced to deal with. And maybe it's almost making, maybe you feel disappointed in yourself because this happened. Because now you feel like you're not able to have this raw, powerful, mountain-moving energy behind you anymore, because now you have to slow down and consider seriously the implications of being a parent. So maybe that's relevant for some of you, maybe it isn't, I don't know. it's like, it's not like it's a waste of energy is something that's coming through. It's just a redirection of the energy into something different, into a new form. I don't know if it's just like the thunder, the lightning storm that's happening outside, or if it's the imagery on this card, but like, I'm really feeling this concept of being conductive, like Zula in Avatar, The Last Airbender, how she can control the lightning. I think it's her and her brother, I think, can both do it, but this sense of like capturing lightning, drawing it through your body and redirecting it like that, like I feel like it's kind of being embodied in the imagery of this situation, whether it's being pregnant or something else that's kind of forcing you to slow down. Like, the energy isn't always like pouring out of you explosively, like it can also be like pouring into you and being directed into something, whether that's a baby in the womb or an idea or a feeling, a sense of closeness with somebody or with the situation. Be okay with that part of the process too. It doesn't mean that you're weak. You're still powerful as ever. You're just focusing on a different project. Hopefully that makes sense. And with that, I think we're actually done. I think that's all that needs to be said today. Yeah, I'm not getting anything else. Okay. Well, you do you, Scorpio. You're doing it. Have fun. Be careful.